Neanderthals. You know, those people that kind of died out because they weren't smart, weren't relevant, couldn't quite get with it. In fact, the poor Neanderthals from a long time ago kind of became the trendy buzzword for several years about, people that just weren't with it. Neanderthals, they didn't advance, the thinking wasn't smart, they were doomed to go to extinction. They're on the wrong side of history. We said that about the Neanderthals, and we use it as a disparaging term even today. Except, I did some reading on Neanderthals the other day, and guess what? They're wrong about what they always thought about Neanderthals. They weren't necessarily ignorant. They didn't just stay in one location and die out because they couldn't adapt. They were spread out along much of the known world at that time, and they're discovering more about them all the time. And in fact, they weren't backwards people. They were actually pretty intelligent and pretty advanced. They just got a bad rap from history, and it was wrong. And so I tell you that for those of you that sometimes have people even look at you and imply that you're a Neanderthal. You're not relevant. You're not with it. Your thinking is dated. You're out of step, and you're doomed to be on the wrong side of history and culturally irrelevant. Except here's the thing. Nobody really knows that kind of stuff. They just don't. People always say, get on the right side of history. Well, obviously, you don't know the right side of history until you're, history. And so I'm going to tell you, as a believer in Jesus, I sometimes get a lot of that trendy, you guys don't get it, you're socially irrelevant, you're not culturally happening, you're doomed to be on the wrong side of history, you don't get it, except here's the thing, 2,000 years from now, we will be relevant, and people will know. And so I don't get real bent out of shape about what people think about us. I want to be sure of one thing, that I follow God, that I trust His Son Jesus, that when I read the Bible, it impacts my life in a way that really changes things, because I think that's where you find truth, in God and in Jesus and in the Bible. And cultures come and cultures go. And it may even be that all the people pointing at us and calling us Neanderthals today, when it's all said and done, generations and centuries from now, people may look back at the happening culture of our time, and they'll turn out to have been the real Neanderthals. So all I can tell you is your worldview needs to be based on something that's going to last. I believe that's Jesus. This is Steve Ridgell saying, you may think I'm a Neanderthal, but actually those guys were a whole lot smarter than we thought.